it's Jessie here. I'm back with another video, and today I am bringing you a review of the Hard Candy Glamoflauge Invisible Camouflage Foundation. I am not wearing this foundation today. Normally I would wear the product that I'm reviewing for the video, but in this case, spoiler alert, this foundation is so terrible that I could not even make it look presentable enough to wear on camera. So you could probably stop the video right now if you wanted to. That pretty much sums it up. If I can't even wear it long enough to film a video, then obviously it's terrible. And this foundation is that. This is probably the worst foundation I've ever used in my entire life. I originally started seeing this Glamoflauge foundation featured on YouTube videos, and a lot of the girls that I watch here on YouTube are oily skinned, and most of them that I saw review this said that it kind of broke apart and didn't really work with their oily skin. So I thought, me with my dry skin, maybe I could get some use out of this. So I picked it up, actually very excited, because I do like the Hard Candy Glamoflauge concealer, which is this, a lot. I use this all the time. I think it's got great coverage. So I thought that if I love the concealer this much, I would have to love the foundation. Not so much. So I picked it up in the shade Ivory, which is obviously pretty light for me. But the color range wasn't all that great, and I felt like I either had to pick a shade that was too light or pick a shade that was too dark. And I figured it would be better to choose a shade that was too light, and I could kind of fix it with bronzer or whatever. Little did I know when I bought this that there was no way that I'd be wearing it at all, so it didn't really matter what shade I picked. But anyways, moving on. The packaging is really, really nice. It's a plastic bottle, and it does have a pump, which I like. A lot of my favorite drugstore foundations don't have a pump, and it kind of bothers me. I really prefer to have a pump if I can help it. So, you know, I felt like Hard Candy did a great job with the packaging. It's really cute. Love the pump, but my love stops there. So, the first time I put this on, I applied it to the back of my hand with the pump. And I used a normal foundation brush like I always would. I'm trying to find one that's not completely dirty here. Used my normal foundation brush, tapped it in, started applying it to my skin, and the thing that I found with this is that it dries down to a powder finish almost immediately, like within seconds. So you have to really work quickly with this. If you think that you can kind of dot it all over your face and just go in and buff it into your skin, it really doesn't work that way. As soon as I applied this to my skin, it dried down to a powder finish. So, if you want to try this foundation despite my horrible review, keep that in mind. You definitely have to work quickly with this. The concept of the drying down to a powder finish is really nice for those of us that don't necessarily need or want to use powder. The issue, though, that I had with this was not only did it dry down super quickly, it also dried down very streaky looking. And so the brush application just didn't work at all. I looked crazy. I am going to show you guys a demo of me trying to apply this foundation just so you can see what I'm talking about. And I'll show you the different methods that I tried as well on different areas of my face so you can get an idea. So brushing it on definitely didn't work for me. I heard a lot of people that claimed to enjoy this foundation say that the best way to apply it is with a beauty blender. So I did that as well. I used my beauty blender, dampened it, put it into the foundation, and kind of pounced it onto my skin. That worked better. It helped to avoid the streakiness that I got from using the brush, and also with my fingers. When I tried to apply it with my fingers, I noticed that it was very streaky that way as well. So it definitely applied better with the beauty blender. So if you do decide to try this foundation, that's the way that I would recommend applying it, with a damp sponge. I would not attempt to use a brush or even your fingers. And make sure that you moisturize really well. And this brings me to the kind of final straw that broke the camel's back. when this dried down, this clung to every single dry patch that I had and made me look terrible. I looked like, I don't know, ridiculous, like scaly, like a lizard or something. It was terrible. Every single dry patch that I had on my skin, now I do have some pretty dry skin, was more noticeable. It clung to all the dry patches. Any of my acne bumps or anything like that, it clung to and made it stand out. So overall, this foundation was just bad. And it's a shame because I feel like if I did not have super dry skin, maybe I could work with it. You know, when I blend it into my hand, it gives an absolutely beautiful finish. But when I try to apply it to my face, it just does not work for me. And, you know, I gave this foundation so many chances. I've applied this half a dozen times at least, and I've never made it out of the house in it because I feel like it just looks awful. So I can't tell you about wear time because I haven't worn it more than 5 minutes. The way that it looks on my skin makes me immediately want to take it off. So, you know, if you want to try this foundation, I would suggest to you not to try it if you're overly dry skinned, and not to try it if you are overly oily, because I've heard from a lot of people that it does not control oil and it breaks down really easily and doesn't last. So basically, you're going to want to try this foundation if you have normal skin, if you don't have a ton of blemishes. So yeah, basically, if you don't need foundation, this might be a decent foundation for you. But it just did not work for me. I hate to give things really poor reviews, especially when it's such an affordable drugstore option. I love hard candy products. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I personally think that this is the worst foundation I've ever used. So, if you've tried this foundation and you like it, and you found a way to work with it, leave a comment down below. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, because I just cannot make this work for me. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna quit rambling now. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. Like I said, if this is your favorite foundation ever, that's awesome for you that you were able to make it work, because it's a great, affordable, easy to get your hands on option. You can get this at Walmart exclusively, but it just didn't work for me, and I'm pretty sad about it. So that's it. Hopefully you guys found this helpful. Like I said, comment down below, tell me what your thoughts were if you tried this foundation. It can't just be me, right? Yeah, I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye, everyone.